And okay, learning as we go. Yeah, I'm definitely learning some things about YouTube this week. So thank you again for your patience. Uh, we are here today on day 4 of New Year Centering, a 5-day series where we are centering ourselves and setting intentions for the new year. I'm Melissa Corley Carter, the barefoot dancing rocket scientist, and I help high achievers discover a renewed sense of purpose, joy, and zest for life by setting healthy boundaries and saying no to distraction so they can say yes to their wildest dreams. Today, we're going to do that yes part. What we've been doing for the past week, we started on Monday with a general pause. On Tuesday, we looked back at the year in review. And then yesterday, we paused and reflected on what we want to say no to going forward. And in that space with our no's, we're going to see what yeses emerge today. So we're going to be talking about your hell yes. You might have heard the phrase, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. And I like to think that if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no, which might sound pretty dramatic, but the hell yes is really the true call of your soul. And it's the kind of thing that emerges when it's not just one thing. It can certainly be multiple, and it's who you would be, who you really are, the things that your true self really wants to do and create in this world. So it's the things that emerge when you hear the questions, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Or what would you do if time, money, and reputation were no object, so no one would laugh at you? Or if you were completely free to be yourself, who would you be? What would you do? So those are the kind of things that evoke our hell yes. And that's what we're going to be reflecting on today. Now, one thing, like similarly to something we talked about yesterday, I want you to not worry about how. So a lot of times we stop our dreams right in their tracks thinking about, well, I don't know how to make that happen. I have to know all the steps before I even get started. And then we kind of give up right away. Not even consciously, but we just write something off as impossible. And then we just kind of let it go and let it fall to the wayside. So I don't want you to worry about the how. Just trust that with the inner knowing of what your hell yes really is, the pieces will fall into place. So with that in mind, I would like to go ahead and invite you into our centering exercise for today. So go ahead and close your eyes if that feels good. If not, just go ahead and gaze down at the floor, not focusing on anything in particular. Take a big deep breath in. Let it out. And arrive in this moment and start as we have each day by focusing on the breath. Noticing the sensations of the breath entering and leaving the body. Focusing there as a starting point that's always with you. And I invite you to notice any thoughts, ideas, or feelings that arise when you hear, what's your hell yes? What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? If time and money were no object and you were completely free to be yourself, who would you be and what would you do? What do you want to say yes to in 2022? Maybe it's prioritizing your health and wellness. Maybe it's creating something, starting a business, writing a book, a poem, or a song, creating visual art, creating a strong relationship with a partner or a friend. diving into fully living the life of who you really are. Even if you don't know what that looks or feels like for you. And if you do know what that looks and feels like, ready to live true to who you really are. Maybe it's none of these things. This is not an all-inclusive list. These are just prompts. Whatever comes up for you is your hell yes. Remembering not to worry about the how. It's the awareness that comes up around knowing the true calling of your soul is all that's needed. All the pieces and the steps will fall into place. Beginning with the dream itself. And then letting go of any thoughts, ideas, or emotions. Bringing your focus back to the breath. An anchor point that is always with you and that will always bring you back into the present moment. Whenever you get distracted or whenever you feel overwhelmed, the breath is always ready for you. Always there for you to focus your attention on, to bring yourself right into the here and now. When you're ready, gently opening your eyes, or bringing up your gaze, and returning your attention to the room. Alrighty, hopefully that was helpful for you. And just a couple little thoughts to send you off with. If nothing immediately came up as a hell yes for you, that is also totally normal and okay. Sometimes, again, we get so overwhelmed or consumed by living the daily expectations that we might have lost touch with a little bit of who we are and our true selves. So that might be an indicator that there's something that you need to say no to first. So a lot of times the yeses, the true yeses, don't emerge until we've cleared some space with our no's. That's why the no piece is so important. And again, don't worry about the how. When you think about this, sometimes we think, well, I know what my yes is now, but it means I'd have to quit my job or move to a monastery or win the lottery. But those things don't have to happen first. So what I'd like you to think about is, what would it take to bring 1% of that hell yes into your life right now? And you don't necessarily have to do anything today or next week, but maybe put some little step into action. So for instance, if your thing was writing a book, you don't have to worry about the whole book right now. Maybe just take 5 minutes today to write in your journal and then see what comes up for you. So how do you bring 1% of that yes into your life going forward with this awareness that you now have? So with that, I hope you enjoyed that, have somewhere to start. And tomorrow we will see you back here for integration. We're going to pull together all the lessons, all the ideas, all the things that have emerged this week as we head into our new year. So thank you again for being here, for taking this time for yourself. I honor you for taking this time for yourself. And I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for integration. Bye.